John Hickenlooper. We're very fortunate to have him here today. I think that he's one of the most visionary leaders in the country right now. Time magazine named him one of the top 5 mayors in the United States. He got his education at Wesleyan University in your home state, where he began his entrepreneurial approach to life by creating, among other things, a community health center that's still in existence, still serving the people of Middletown, Connecticut. He's a small business owner in Colorado that got fed up with what he described then as the fundamental nonsense of government, ran for mayor, and brought an entirely new approach to governing in Colorado that has now gone beyond just the city limits of Denver, but has reached from one end of the state to the other. The leadership on transit that he has shown with his colleague mayors and commissioners around the city has really become a model for regional cooperation, as you were just saying, over lots of other things like water, natural resources, I hope someday education, and all of it is a consequence of the discussions around transit and what it means for our quality of life. He's also led a fight against homelessness in Denver that's a model for the rest of the country. Has been adopted in many other cities. So I believe that, as you were saying, and I want to applaud your letter on sustainability, that the issues that attach themselves to transit are so important that they could actually change the political conversation in this country and give us the chance to solve some of the problems that we haven't addressed for a very long time. I think Mayor Hickenlooper's brand of politics and brand of leadership is a model for all of us as we begin those conversations.
Thank you very much, Chairman Dodd and Ranking Member Shelby, members of the committee. Senator Bennet, I especially appreciate the kind introduction. You will all see, as I did, that his unfailing good judgment and always good humor makes him a pleasure to have in any working group. I appreciate your inviting me to talk today about sustainable transportation solutions, investing in transit to meet 21st century needs. We appreciate all of your hard work, especially the Housing and Economic Recovery Act of 2008, which has gone a long way to helping build our foundations. I also want to recognize and thank Secretary LaHood. As long as I've been working on transportation, it's just refreshing to have his positive energy and his collaborative spirit and see it there. We're very optimistic. This nation cannot deal with the energy and climate challenges without addressing the transportation sector head-on. Oil independence starts with giving people good alternatives. This means going forward, all federally assisted transportation investments must address energy and climate concerns in addition to mobility, and do this through needed shifts and reforms in federal policies and programs. The foremost recommendation among the long list of transportation authorization policy positions that the U.S. Conference of Mayors adopted in June was a call for a metropolitan mobility program that really focused on not just congestion relief, but economic development, sustainability, and environmental matters. All these efforts must emphasize sustainable transportation investments led by increased investment in public transit and intercity passenger rail. To accelerate the achievements of more sustainable transportation solutions, federal policy must increasingly empower local elected officials, especially in metropolitan areas, to make the decisions on how federal transportation resources can be best invested, and to provide incentives for a collaborative process in our metropolitan regions. As Mayor of Denver and as Chair of the Transportation Committee of the U.S. Conference of Mayors, my own perspective on transportation, the Transportation Authorization Bill, is driven by our experience in collaboration across the metropolitan region to build our Fast Tracks transit project. 25 years ago, a young lawyer challenged the people of Denver to imagine a great city. Federico Pena went on to become Secretary of Transportation for 4 years under Clinton, and his challenge was taken to heart. Metro Denver has been nationally recognized for our capacity to plan and work collaboratively across potentially balkanized local jurisdictions. When we passed Fast Tracks in 2004, all 32 mayors, Republicans and Democrats, large cities and small towns, unanimously supported a 0.4 cent sales tax increase on our regional area, which, as Senator Bennet noted, was roughly the size of Connecticut. From our Fast Tracks transit project to our regional economic development initiatives to our cultural facilities tax districts, all of which involve and benefit the localities within the 8 metro Denver counties, this collaborative ability continues to grow. Beyond our collaboration, Fast Tracks represents a possibility for successful transit, not just in the more dense and older cities, but across the American West. Especially at this moment in history, when we have factories and other brownfield sites sitting empty, we have the opportunity to transform how we grow, how we think about economic development, and we can change zoning so that we get 25 and 30 block areas around transit stops with denser zoning where we have 6- and 8-story buildings permitted that encourage retail and housing and various forms of mixed use all in the same place. As has been the case in other cities that have embarked on ambitious transit projects, Fast Tracks has tremendous potential for positive change in all these areas, from congestion reduction to energy savings to economic development. Most importantly, in these difficult economic times, it holds the possibility for sustainable economic development through job creation. Transit has been an economic development tool for Denver and for the entire region. We see close to TODs, to the transit-oriented developments, home values are higher. Closer to TODs, the rate of home foreclosures appears to be lower. Choices are very important. When gas prices rise, people especially need alternatives. When the gas rose above $4 a gallon, lower and middle-class Americans were forced to not pay mortgages and credit cards. I'm not saying that this caused the economic collapse, but certainly if you follow the spike in gasoline prices and the level of foreclosures at those people on the margin, there's an alarmingly close correlation. Denver Union Station, well, I should go back. Having a well-planned, accessible, efficient transit system demonstrates the city's focus on its economic future. It's crucial to a city's ability to attract visitors and conventions. In fact, our transit planning, I think, was a key to Denver successfully hosting the DNC last summer. And Senator Bennet would say, I think Salt Lake City experienced a similar success in hosting the Olympics and with their transit. Denver Union Station, which has become an icon of Denver's transportation history, is being redeveloped as a modern, multimodal transit hub, making it easier for people to access goods and services and creating hundreds of jobs, both short-term in construction and long-term in new retail developments that will be included. TODs are one of the key priorities because they create economic vitality and improve quality of life and public safety. Because of their density and mixed uses, TODs are sustainable communities. Transit can also drive appropriate growth and spur sustainable economic development and land use. We deeply appreciate that what Congress did in SAFE-T, which changed New Start's criteria by raising assessment of economic development and land use impact analysis to top priorities alongside the cost-benefit analysis. Transit can be a very powerful tool in orienting development. When the New York City subway system was first constructed, if you go back and look at the history, they built lines out into the cow pastures in Brooklyn, and the growth followed. We envision the same 20 to 25-year return on investment by expanding our lines from Denver to Boulder and Longmont. However, the problem has been, in the previous administration, an implementation by DOT, not Congress, which failed to take in some of these factors, such as economic development and other forms of assessment, and instead focused on simply dividing the number of current riders by the cost per mile. The analysis doesn't even adequately take into account future population changes and out-year ridership. As I understand it, if you plan to build a transit station in a place where you know growth is coming, the evaluation still forecasts zero ridership. I understand that economic benefit and land use are difficult to measure, but there clearly are ways to do it, and it is critical that we do so. It is equally critical that this forward-thinking investment, as well as environmental impact, be considered by DOT now and be reasserted in any reauthorization. Thank you.